and welcome to Flashback Generations.
Evening.
We have a game here from when Pete was a little lad. Of course, I mean Stoneage.
What is it?
Stoneage is a worker placement in its truest form, where people are aiming to accrue as many points as possible through gradually advancing their society through bonus cards, buildings, and any other methods they can conceive of.
What do you get?
Okay, with this game you get a board as usual, and you get a ton of wooden bits, meeples or cave peoples.
They're awesome cave meeples.
Yeah, they've got little messy hair instead of the usual neat bald head of the meeple. That's nice. You get bits of resource, so you've got stone, gold. Everybody wants that.
Clay and wood.
Clay, yeah, and wood, and food's not represented by wood bits, but
no, that's actually, to be honest, in the whole kind of display of what you can see here, this is your food. So that just says 10. That's probably the biggest letdown that they didn't.
Maybe
they just
it's kind of a mechanic. It needs to be more granular, doesn't it? The food.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get a load of tiles which represent huts that you can build.
Yep.
You get this big deck of cards which sort of
bonus points
comes out. Yeah.
Stuff, yeah. You get your player boards as well.
This is your village. Very important. It's your village.
Is there anything else? No, not really. You get 4 factions, more boards. This lovely old cave.
That's nice. Yeah.
Mammoth skin.
Mammoth skin.
Dice roller thing. It's great.
I wonder what it is really.
It feels like leather.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's very nicely presented. I think the artwork is very nice. Like when you look at this board, it tells you a story. Right?
It always reminds me of the old computer game Populous. The huts and the mountains and everything, and the little villages all over it.
They did a really good job. It's also very clear. Like once you start playing the game, it's very clear where things go and like what it costs. So I guess we can move on to that and talk about the rules.
How does it work?
So players take it in turns to do a worker. It's a worker placement, so you take in turns to place
one guy per turn.
One or more. So if I was going to place on a wood, and I could place 3 meeples in there. That wood's got a capacity of 7 on it. So then it'll be Pete's turn. Where he can choose somewhere he wants to.
Yeah.
He chooses to have a baby, so he has 2 of his meeples go in there. Produce a 3rd. That sort of thing. So
you only get a few to start with, don't you?
You gradually
you must bear the rest of them as the game goes on.
You start with 5, and then you gradually have babies, and so by the end you actually
they carve a new one more from the wood.
Same way at the start of the game you've got to do hunting. You actually have to go hunting to get your food.
I never noticed that's got one big ring around it because as many people as you like.
You could put all 10. Every player could put all other people in there.
Yeah, but these are restricted. They've only got slots.
But at the same time you could be learning agriculture and getting your farming level up. It's a very kind of straightforward game, and I've played this a lot of time with a lot of new players, and it's quite obvious to these players. The only thing I'd say that isn't obvious is how the bonus points work.
Yeah.
For a new player on the first go, they'll quickly pick up. They need to get resources. They need to do this. But the understanding of how the bonus points will actually affect the game in the end is something that you had to witness to really understand it properly.
Yeah. So the victory point track is around the board, and say if you build that hut, you get 14 points.
14 points.
Right.
But to build that, you need 2 clay and 1 gold. So to build it, I would put my meeple there, and that's my action. Now it's up to Pete. So as you can see as well, you'll gradually go around the board, and people will be taking the best squares. So in the end of every turn, you'll typically have your 1 or 2 guys who you go, what, like a wood.
Yeah.
Food, because as many people can go on food. So
and then the strategy starts coming in, especially in the 4-player we played, where it's like, I know I need a brick, but there's only 1 space left, and then one of your enemies, so I know he needs a brick, I'm going to fill up that space even though I don't need one to stop you getting one. So it becomes competitive, doesn't it?
It does. Okay, and to further the game, what stops it from just being, why does the first player just not win? It's got a dice rolling mechanic. So what'll happen is everything's got a value on it. Okay, so gold is worth 6. So your starter board here has values on it. Okay, gold is worth 6, stone 5, clay 4, wood 3, and food 2. What'll happen is, say I place 3 meeples in to capture food. Now it's got a value of 2, which means that I'm going to roll dice. Every meeple I have down there represents 1 dice. So I'm going to have 3 dice there, and every 2 I'm going to get 1 food. So I rolled a 6 in total there. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to get 3 food for that because every 2 is
2,
1
4,
food.
6. Yeah, that's.
If they were in the wood, I will get 2. These are worth 3 each, so I would get 2 of these. So there is a certain amount of maths to behold in this game, but you know it's not really like the purpose of it. In the clay, I'll only get 1 because each one of them is worth 4.
Yeah, you can't use the remainder.
So
Anyway.
the value of the resources goes up.
So yeah, you're looking at what you're going for, and you're thinking there's no point putting 1 guy on gold. Well, there is, but you have to roll a 6 on 1 dice to get a gold. You know?
Yes, yeah,
And so-
precisely. You can craft tools to make dice rolling easier, and you also have to, at the end of your turn, you have to feed your whole family. So you always have to feed your family, but you know, the more agriculture you know, the easier it is to feed your family, because that'll actually guarantee you actually feed that many people.
Yeah.
So you know, you have to. There's a balance here of when am I trying to get resources, when do I need food, and when am I actually trying to advance my culture. You've got a certain amount of time to do this. The time being when this card deck empties, or when any of these decks are gone. So then the game's called. So you can.
So if anything runs out, game over. Yeah.
Exactly. So in my opinion, what I've often tried to do is try and get one of these decks down as quick as possible, because you'll catch people out that way. You know, and if you do that and people don't realise that's what you're doing, like they might have a grand strategy. You know, they think that they can go through this whole deck or something, but you know, you've actually beat them to the punch. So that's like a sneaky tactic. But you know, as a simple game, it's kind of a family game. It's an older family game.
Yeah, it's not for little kids. I mean, there is a junior version which I've got, which is great for little kids, because that's this boiled right down to, you know.
It says 13 plus. I think a 13 plus. This is actually.
I think you can get a 9, 10, and you know, a clever 9, 10-year-old would have no major problems with help.
You need someone who was interested and enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
You know,
But
it's a really smart game though. I mean, Zedman Games, I would say, are one of the top companies for actually making clever games. You know.
Yeah.
So this is no exception to the rule. It's absolutely brilliant.
It is brilliant, yeah.
One of the best worker placements out there, I'd say, especially as just the solo box. You know, it does not require you to buy an expansion.
It's one of those rare games where you think, I believe there is an expansion, but
there is.
I can't think what you would need to add to it, because it's just
expansion
so
does
well-rounded, isn't it?
The expansion does something there. There's a new resource you get.
Yeah, I suppose you could make something more complicated. That's all you could do with an expansion, really.
Yeah.
I was wondering about the victory track as, you know, little wheels on every 10. You could introduce a technology mechanic, do you know what I mean? Because this is like the invention of the wheel, as you get VPs. I don't know. That's the only thing I could have thought of that you could have done with an expansion, but it's a really good game.
It's a very clever game. It's so well thought out. I'm perplexed with how well they did it. To me, this is like a good 8 out of 10. You know, I'd happily play this again and again. Really.
Yeah.
It's the sort of game you can play with your mum as well, like happily, competitively, and beat her.
Maybe.
I'm not. I'm in no way like advocating that. But
We'll put that to the test then.
yeah. The rule book's crystal clear, and the game actually.
I've never
just
looked
flows.
at it. You don't need it. Even with Sai explaining it in 5 minutes flat, I understood.
You probably understood from my rules explanation there. It's such an easy game, but
It's just
really works.
some of the detail, like what's this? Well, if you put a man on it, it's going to cost you 4 resources. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll cost you. Yeah. So we'll do this one.
Yeah.
So this one here, it'll cost you any 3 resources.
Of any type.
You put your man on it. I'm going to get a red brick, so I'll get one of them, and that at the end of the game will multiply your population by 2. Score.
Score, yeah, you'll get your population times 2. So that could be worth getting, depends what's going on, but that's what they're for, and it's things like, you know, that sort of stuff you won't get immediately.
Yeah.
But one playthrough and you'll have everything absolutely down.
No, great game. Alright, well, I guess we've said all we can about Stoneage, and we'll see you next time, guys. Cheers for watching.
So yeah.